In this video, we're going to look at how to make a scatter plot in views. This video assumes that you are familiar with importing data and with how to make a bar chart, so at least you understand how to bring up a page that you can make a plot in. In order to make a scatter plot, you're going to need data that has at least two columns, such as what we see here. This is again the stock market return data, and essentially what you need is data that's going to specify an x coordinate and a y coordinate. In this case, we're going to have the year as the x coordinate, and we'll use the 1 year returns, the b column, as the y coordinate. So what we need to do is import that into views and then make a scatter plot. Again, I'm going to assume that you already know how to import into views. So let's see what it looks like then. This again is the default for when you boot up views. You have a page and a graph already. You can also see on the right hand side where we have the data that I've already imported the data set that is the stock market returns. We did have some additional data plotted in here, but all we really want to worry about is the year and the 1 year returns. So to add in a scatter plot, we click the scatter plot button on the top toolbar. This will bring up a new window or a new tab down here under properties for views that has both the X and the Y data. Plotting our data is as simple as selecting what we want for the X. In this case, we want the year, and what we want for the Y, which in this case is the 1 year returns. And as soon as I click this, you'll see in the middle it will have a scatter plot. The default in the scatter plot is to plot the points as circles with black outlines and then connect them with straight lines. Let's just have a real quick look at how to change a few of these variables, although we'll save most of it for later. This is done by entering the formatting pane. And once we do that, then we have several tabs across the top. We're in the main tab right now, and you can see that our marker is a circle. If we didn't want a circle, we could change it to something like a diamond. We could change the size of the marker if we want, the color that we're going to use. We can add in error bars and things like that. We're going to leave that all for a later time. For right now, let's just think about the line that's connecting our plots. We can get to that by clicking on the Line tab. And doing so then brings up the options. We can see that we have a few options. One is at the bottom to hide. If I click the hide button, that just simply gets rid of the line connecting it. Unhiding that shows it again. Something else that's of interest is perhaps if you want a smooth joining, you can use this Bezier join, which makes kind of a smoother connection, although it's kind of nonsensical for this data, so we'll leave that off. The last thing I want to talk about is if we wanted to have a step function instead of the connection that we have here. The way this connection works is it basically joins the center of each point with the center of the next point. Sometimes, however, though, we'll want a straight line that extends down and then moves over where we have a horizontal line indicating the next value. We do this by using the steps menu in the line pane. Here what we see is that if we select from this down menu, we can set steps as starting at the left. Let's click that and see what happens to the line. You can see now that the line extends to the right, goes down, over, down, over, down. This might be easier to see if we get rid of the marker. So let's just go over to the marker border and hide that. And then the marker fill and hide that. Now there's no markers and you can see that there are steps. Going back to the steps pane, if I turn off this step, we have the straight connection. Turning it on to the left, again we have the steps. Then we just have center. That moves exactly where the down point is, right. This is just shifting around kind of where the vertical up and down lies. We don't have to worry about it too much right now. I just wanted to show you that it exists. The last thing is we could also hide the line, like we saw, or maybe make it thicker. 2 points gives us a nice thick line here. And that's basically all I want to show you for the scatter plot.